Another Lattafa fragrance review, stay tuned. It's the Middle Eastern fragrance king, Neeb with Aromatix. Today I have another Lattafa fragrance, and this one is called Khaltaat Alarabia, or Lattafa's Royal Blends. So this is what the bottle looks like. It's a gold collar looking thing on a glass base, nothing on the back here, and then we have this cap that I guess has like these fake gemstones, and then the cap is actually plastic. It's pretty cheap, but it doesn't really matter. On the top here, there's really nothing there. And basically what this fragrance is classified as is fruity, musky, and woody. So what do I think about this fragrance? This was the scent of the day for me today. I actually wasn't really excited about making this review for a couple of reasons. First off, I didn't really enjoy the fragrance DNA the first time I sprayed this, and also the fact that it comes off a little feminine. But nonetheless, I have it, and I realized that I have to make this review eventually. And I'm sure many of you guys are wondering what this fragrance is like, so here we are. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the notes for Khaltaat Alarabia, and I'm gonna tell you guys that this opens up with fruits, apple, we have spices, nutmeg, and clove in the mid, and at the base we have amber, musk, and woody notes. But what do I get? What are you gonna get? Let's find out together here. Let's take a look at the atomizer while we're doing that. All right, it's a pretty narrow shot. And right off of the initial opening, I get alcohol. Definitely get some alcohol. But you will 100% pick up fruity notes. At this point in the fragrance, it's kind of giving me a similar vibe. Guys, don't misunderstand this. This is absolutely not a clone of any fragrance that I know of. However, it's giving me a very similar vibe of Herba Pura from Xerjoff. It's got like this super bright, fruity type of vibe here. Personally, not my cup of tea, but I know some people actually enjoy those types of fragrances. So that's where I can draw the resemblances, hopefully help you guys out. But the two fruits that I really pick up in this opening, guys, is pear and apple. We see that we have the apple here. It's absolutely there. Not too much of a sour green apple, but it is something of a, I would say I get sometimes a little bit of a red apple, and then slight bits of a less sour type of green apple. So the fruits, like I said, what I can really detect mostly is just that pear and that apple. The mid here, it's not too much in your face in the opening whatsoever, but I will say that you can easily detect the amber and the musk within the opening of this fragrance. The one thing that I will say about this fragrance is that the transitioning is actually four-dimensional. This transitioned in 4 different stages. I was actually pretty shocked and impressed by the transitions of this fragrance because I almost forgot what I had on just because of the fact that this really changes. So in that opening, I really detected mostly fruits and amber. As this started to dry down, within about 10 minutes, a little bit of the fruits kind of dwindled down just a little bit, not too much, it was still there. The amber definitely amplified, and then I could pick something up of clove. After about another hour to 2 hours, this definitely toned down much more in the fruits, and mostly at this point was just amber, musk, and then, like I said, that clove. Maybe a touch of nutmeg. The fruits was there, but it was just like a haze. After this point, which is about 4-hour mark, so probably about 4-hour mark, this turned into just musk, amber, clove, and woods. I couldn't detect the fruits whatsoever. So mind you, this was about probably hour 5 or 6. Total longevity on this one we'll get into when we talk about the performance. However, the transitions of this fragrance was actually pretty surprising for a sub $30 fragrance. Personally, I definitely think that this leans feminine. If we were to put like a feminine masculine radar, and let's say right about here is a neutral, this definitely slides a little bit more into the feminine side. So let's put it on for scale, 5 being neutral, 10 being feminine, and 0 being masculine. This is definitely about a 7 on the gender scale. As far as a rating for this fragrance, this is the best way that I could tell you guys whether or not I enjoy without considering the price point. This is a 5 out of 10 for me. Considering the price point, it's actually a 6.5 out of 10 for me. So with the price in mind, 6.5. Without the price in mind, just as the scent alone, 5 out of 10 for me. If I were into feminine fragrances, this would probably veer around the 6.5 to a 7 out of 10, but I'm really not into feminine fragrances. Fruity, ambery, and musk. That's the best way I can describe this with those 3 traits. Performance on this sucker, total longevity was about 6 to 7 hours, and the projection on this sucker for the first hour and a half was actually pretty decent, about 4 feet. After that hour and a half, about 2-hour mark, it started going into just a very small scent bubble for another half an hour, and about hour 3 or 4, it was relatively a skin scent, maybe about half a foot off of my skin, and then it just turned into a skin scent after that within like the next 30 minutes. So not bad for sub $30. If you're into feminine fragrances, it's decent for the price. That's really all I have to say about Khaltaat Alarabia by Lattafa. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button for much more content just like this. And until next time, peace.